Alright guys, what is going on? So we have a little update video for you guys on the car. Quite a bit of progress has happened since I last picked up the camera. So we have the new PCV valve installed for the most part. I do have to put fuel rails, fuel line, and all of that stuff back on, so I haven't really buttoned anything up. And then we are waiting on the supercharger parts. Those are on back order from ECS Tuning. It has been 3 weeks, still no order, so I'll probably just end up buying some new cooler cores for the supercharger elsewhere, and we'll just have those ones as backup when they show up months later. So just waiting on those parts, and then we'll button this whole area up. We have a Mishimoto thermostat housing and thermostat, which is a lower temp, so it should open, I think it was like 25 degrees sooner. And then we also did install a new water pump down here, just for peace of mind. The one that was in the car, the O-ring, looked like the coolant was actually starting to work its way around it, so glad I went ahead and changed that. And then we have the new CAP Performance crank pulley to drive the supercharger faster. Like you guys saw, we have the upgraded pulley on the supercharger as well, so that is all in. The only thing left to do is, again, just button up the center of the engine here. We have new seals, top and bottom, for the intake manifolds, as well as for the fuel injectors as well. Get all that stuff plugged in, hopefully in the right place. And then I've made a new supercharger heat exchanger mount. So originally I was going to mount it on the bottom side of these two bolts here. I quickly realized that I did not have the structural support in between, and when I tried to bolt that in, it did not fit, so had to go ahead and redesign a new mounting system. So we'll get this all cleaned up, but it is all welded for the most part, about 70% through, and then it mounts to the heat exchanger right there. And then we'll put I have some riv nuts installed, so I can just put a bolt in, tighten it up, and be done with it. And then, yeah, it's just like this. So, looks super clean, pretty sleek, pretty out of the way, should not interfere with anything. These bolts are extended. I think they're an extra 20 millimeters in length. So it does kind of hit on the bottom of the headlight at one spot. I'm going to go ahead and just trim that one spot off of the headlight so it does not hit. And then it will also use this bolt as like a stabilizer piece as well. Same with this side, same exact design there. So that is basically what is going on with the top and the front of the car, and then we'll go underneath the car and check things out under there. So before we go under the car, as you guys can see, the brakes are absolutely trashed. There is probably like an 1/8 inch lip on the edge of that, and these things are probably salvageable. You could probably take them to a machine shop and get them turned or resurfaced, but we are not going to do that. The pad is basically non-existent as well. If you can see in there, there is hardly any pad left. So we went ahead and picked up some new Brembo brakes for the car on all four corners. These ones were completely trashed and definitely needed replaced before we throw almost 500 wheel horsepower at this car. So as we go underneath the car, you guys can see we have the test pipes installed. We have the flex pipe that we went ahead and fixed. Those guys are installed, and I did go ahead and just install it onto the exhaust that came on the car. I thought it's no fun if we don't test it out being absurdly loud, so we're going to be absurdly loud for a little bit. Hopefully we don't get pulled over. The resonators were removed from this exhaust, as you can see, but there are still 2 resonators at the end, as well as that large one right there. So it shouldn't be crazy loud, but it is definitely going to be louder than the Jetta. So once the catalytic converters came out of the car, it freed up so much room The test pipes were so easy to install once all that stuff was out of the way. We've got new stainless hardware all around. Welds are ugly, ignore that. I do need to put the clamps back on here, and then I need to put the mounting brackets that go from the side of the transmission to the test pipe. Those still need to get installed, but everything else is pretty solid, and there is no flex or anything there, so we are basically ready to get this car running once the supercharger parts come on. Anyway, that is going to be it for the update video. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for liking the videos, and thank you guys for sticking around through all of these. They're not the most fun videos to watch a car build like this. It's a slow process, so stick around for when we actually get the car running, because I guarantee it's going to be sick and the car's going to rip, and we'll be able to make some cooler content, maybe some racing videos or something like that. But yeah, stick around. We'll be working on the Audi, we'll be working on the Jetta, and who knows what other projects could be coming in the future. Anyway, go ahead and like the video, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.